is reaching out to the National Emergency Management Agency in a proactive bid to mitigate the effects of any probable flood. Ahmad Ambali reports.
Kogi State was one of the states that felt more than the pinch of the 2012 floods. Land, people, and property all were affected by the deluge, the worst of its kind witnessed by the people of the confluent state in 50 years. The waters have dried up following that disaster, but more, if the predictions by the Nigeria Meteorological Agency is anything to go by, is coming. And before it comes, the Kogi State Governor is meeting the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to perfect strategies in the event of a reoccurrence.
So we are working ahead. We've identified, high grounds in the endemic flooding local government areas of our state.
Both the Director General of NEMA, Mohammed Sani Sidi, and the Governor agreed that there is the need to begin moving people living on floodplains to higher ground. But more than ever before, they believe building the capacity of local people to respond to emergencies through awareness campaign is critical. Kogi State, aside from grappling with displacement of persons due to flood, seems to have a knack for playing host to internally displaced persons. Presently, the governor says 5,000 people from Benue State are seeking refuge in the state following communal clashes. In Abuja, Ahmed Ambali, NTA News.
3-day training for teachers from northern states and FCT on the implementation of science and technology holds in Makurdi, the Benue State capital. This and more stories in our Makurdi Center. Susan is our guide.
Thank you, Shehu, and welcome to Makurdi. Educationists from northern states of Nigeria and the Federal Capital Territory are strategizing at a 3-day workshop on how teachers should be trained to effectively implement the new senior secondary education science and technology curricula. Correspondent Godwin Inalegu reports that the Train the Trainers workshop in Makurdi was organized by Nigerian Educational Research and Development Council in collaboration with Science and Technology Education Post-Basic Project. The report.
The Nigerian Educational Research and Development Council and the Science and Technology Education Post-Basic Project is an intervention program supported by the World Bank to ensure that teachers are given necessary skills and strategies for effective teaching of the new secondary school and science, technology, and mathematics curricula. The 4 major science subjects include biology, physics, chemistry, and mathematics. Executive Secretary, Nigerian Educational Research and Development Council, Professor Goswill Obioma said the project's objective is for Nigerian federal post-basic education and research institutions to produce more and better qualified science and technology graduates.
What we've done at my agency is to develop a new curriculum for teaching science and mathematics and other subjects, including technology, and also developed a teacher's guide to enable effective delivery of the content.
National Project Coordinator, Science and Technology Education Post-Basic Step B Project, Professor M.U. Adiku said the project is specifically designed to equip science teachers with innovative classroom practices that promote the development of work-related skills, attitude, and abilities in learners.
And for you to be able to achieve that, you have to have a curriculum that can impact this into our children.
Some participants at the workshop say they will be better placed to replicate what they have learned in their various states and localities. In Makurdi, Godwin Inalegu, NTA News.
Federal government initiative to create job opportunities for the teeming unemployed youths in the country through the Subsidy Reinvestment and Empowerment Program, SURE-P, is yielding more results across the Federation as states continue to queue in. The latest is the launching of the scheme in Taraba State by the acting governor Alhaji Garba Umar at the Jolly Nyame Stadium in Jalingo. Correspondent Adamu also reports that over 6,000 youths selected from the 16 local government areas of the state are benefiting from the scheme.
The Subsidy Investment and Empowerment Program, a direct intervention of the federal government, aimed at creating job opportunities for the youths across the country to harness their potentials to make them productive members of the society. Implementation process of the program in Taraba State is divided into phases, which includes the training of youth on various skills, distribution of subsidized motorcycles and tricycles, and the training of some youth on security, environmental protection, and traffic control under the Taraba Special Marshal Scheme. Flagging of the program in Jalingo, the state acting governor Alhaji Garba Umar described the project as the beginning of another systematic process to move the country forward.
The government will have identified the need for the distribution of motorcycles and tricycles to be evenly distributed to everyone in the state.
Taraba State Commissioner of Social Welfare, Youth and Sport Development, Alhaji Abdul Hadi Harun Alau, said the Shuapi program indicates government's strong desire to provide an assured future for its youths. Already, about 1,200 youths have commenced training into the Taraba State Special Marshal Scheme. Contributing, the State Youth Council Chairman, Mr. Solomon Elisha, commended government for the initiative and called on the beneficiaries to make effective utilization of the opportunity. In Jalingo, Ado Ademo also, NTA News.
The Benue State government says it will not relent in its efforts to ensure that all the internally displaced persons from Agatu local government area of the state return to the communities without further delay. Deputy Governor of the state, Stephen Lawani, gave the assurance when he visited victims of the crisis who are taking refuge in different communities in Omala local government area of Kogi state. Godwin Inalegu completes the report.
The Deputy Governor, Chief Stephen Lawani, said the visit became necessary in view of the hardship the victims are facing outside their homes. He told them that the state government has provided adequate security in their communities, while Governor Gabriel Suswam is collaborating with the governor of Nasarawa State on ways to tackle insecurity in the area to enable them return and begin life anew. Chief Stephen Lawani thanked the government of Kogi State, particularly the chairman of Omala local government, and the communities where the internally displaced persons are taking refuge for the care and support to the victims.
As a responsible government, we will do everything possible to ensure that you move to your homes at the soonest possible time.
The victims, who are mostly women and children, are staying at primary schools in the various communities, thereby exposing them to mosquito bites at night.
Some of us, children they sick, and some of us to chop is hard for us.
And us. All other honorable members of
Over 2,000 people displaced in Agatu local government area of Benue State are believed to be taking refuge in Kogi State. From Bagana in Omala local government area of Kogi State, Godwin Inalegu, NTA News.
And that's it from Makudi. It's back to Shehu in Abuja for more on NTA Nationwide.
Susan in Makurdi, thank you indeed. In a bid to promote reading culture among students, the Explorers Book and Readers Club has launched a read campaign at the Federal Government Boys College, Apo, Abuja. Franca Uzoma Olwa reports that former Minister of State Education, Dr. Jerry Agada, led the campaign.
Reading is described as an essential tool for lifelong learning and self-actualization. But unfortunately, the art of reading is fast vanishing in the society as students no longer read. It is against this background that Explorers Book and Readers Club is sensitizing students on the need to rekindle their interests back to the library.
If we don't have enough library, enough reading culture, definitely students will involve themselves in. And the society at large is in, with the development technology coming in, you can see the issue of using of handsets, students getting results from internet or all this, which is very bad.
With this sensitization young people, as well as even the elderly adults, are going back to their books. So we are making a lot of impact.
We are going beyond this very college. We are taking it to other schools, the states, and then the national level. Sensitization, enlightenment.
With the theme, Celebratory Reading, presentations focused on the benefits of being properly informed through reading.
It is the responsibility of parents to make sure that books are even available. Let them buy books for their children. Let them create libraries where their children can read. When we talk of libraries, it's not just a situation where you have an institutionalized building in a college and you stock books and you are talking of library. You can have libraries even in the bedroom.
Explorers Book and Readers Club is a non-governmental organization with the aim of improving reading culture in Nigeria. In Abuja, Franca Uzoma Olua, NTA News.
Members of the newly constituted interim management team of the Federal Housing Authority have been asked to promote transparency, probity, accountability, and exemplary leadership in their actions and conduct. The Minister of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, Amal Pepple, gave the charge while inaugurating the team. Muhammad Hamza Sheikh reports.
The 7-man team, comprising an interim managing director, 2 executive directors, and 4 general managers, is a transitional project delivery team appointed to ensure effective implementation of the Federal Housing Authority restructuring plan within a period of 1 year. The team is responsible for managing the day-to-day operation of the HFA and ensuring the successful execution of its work plan and performance agreement. The minister said the restructuring exercise is to enhance the capacity of the Federal Housing Authority to serve Nigerians better.
Nobody should go away with the impression that this is a permanent thing. We are going to re-advertise the 6 positions early next year, internally and externally, because we want to get the best. So those of you who are there now, the onus is on you to prove yourself and to make sure that you work hard, then, because it's not a permanent position that you have been given. And the union should understand that what we are doing is for the benefit of the country, of the FHA, even of its staff.
The interim managing director, Teve Gamade, assured Nigerians that within the transitional period, the team will draw up realizable targets to hasten the pace of housing delivery by the authority.
I am proud to say that with the skill, competencies, and varied experience of members of this team, who have each been given their schedule of duties already, we have no doubt in our minds that we will achieve success in turning around the fortunes of the authority within the period of our assignment.
The restructuring of the Federal Housing Authority is part of efforts by the Federal Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development to reduce the alarming housing deficit of 17 million units in the country. In Abuja, Muhammad Hamza Sheikh, NTA News.
For the Nigeria of our dreams to be achieved, Nigerians must eschew bitterness, violence, and embrace peace. This was the summation of participants at the end of the 3-day Ekanka International Conference in Abuja. Olainka Ojo reports that participants were drawn from the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja.
Conference is, are you looking for a sign from God? According to the regional Ekanka spiritual aide, Francis Omidiji, in our struggle for a better life, we forget to find joy in little things, in the faces of people that we meet and places we go and things we do. But when we do, we find that all these things are signs from God. This realization he maintained is what can make us build a virile nation.
We are having problems. People find it difficult to love their neighbor like themselves.
When you have love, you now realize that everybody you meet is a child of love, God.
Getting the children to imbibe the spirit of love and service from their early age is a more sustainable long-term strategy for transforming the country.
The international conference, which cut across all age grades with several workshops, saw children exposed to meaningful ventures in creative arts and how to embrace good neighborliness and respect for one another, irrespective of religion, tribe, race, or gender.
They are fun to do.
They taught me how to share.
In Abuja, Olainka Ojo, NTA News.
Our next port of call is Benin Network Center, where Edo State security chiefs meet. Over to Ogochukwu for details of these and other stories from that center.
Welcome to Benin. Security chiefs in Edo State have assured the people of their commitment to ensure a state free of crime and criminality. This was the outcome of the security meeting they held with the state governor, Comrade Adams Oshomole. Agatha Egware has that report.
Rising from the weekly security meeting, the State Police Commissioner Olufunsho Adebanjo briefed newsmen on behalf of his colleagues. He said the issue of security is paramount in Governor Shomole's agenda, noting that his support of security agencies has paid off with the low rate of crime in the state. Mr. Adebanjo stated that officers spend sleepless nights to ensure safety of lives and property of the citizenry.
There have been many arrests of armed robbers and kidnappers in the past 1 month under review. We have also confiscated many arms from criminals, that is armed robbers and kidnappers also. Efforts have been made that, to make sure that the state is completely free of crime and criminality. This government is determined and is assuring the good people of the state that crime and criminality will not be tolerated in this state.
Commander of the 4 Mechanized Brigade Nigeria Army, Brigadier General Pat Akim, Director, Edo State Command of the State Security Service SSS, Biglo Bakori, and the Commander of the 81 Air Maritime Group Benin City, Air Commodore Umar Atiku, were at the meeting. From Benin, Agatha Egware, NTA News.
The Delta State government says it has committed over 40 billion naira to the maintenance and rehabilitation of federal roads across the state. But what worries the state government is that no part of this money has been refunded to it. The State Commissioner for Works, Funke Keme Solomon, expressed this concern while undertaking an inspection of some federal roads where the state government wants to intervene. The report. The Commissioner said the approval by the State Executive Council to rehabilitate and resurface Gamon Bridge linking Sapele and Ethiopia West local government areas and the rehabilitation, desilting and channeling of the drains at the failed portion of the Warri-Sapele Road by Airport Junction in Warri are some of the moves by the Odua administration to ensure the well-being of Deltans and residents.
What we'll do in the next few weeks, that will close both ends of the bridge. There are alternative routes that will be provided on this end and that end for people to use until we repair the bridge. Public must understand that it is not our road, but we are going to do it because it is within Delta State and Deltans and other people are using it, and it's also part of our programs by the donor programs to intervene in roads because we talk about Delta beyond oil.
The Commissioner said the government has embarked on massive construction and rehabilitation of roads across the state and appealed to residents to cooperate with government. The decision by Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board JAMB to scrap the paper-pencil test in 2015 and replace it with a computer-based test is generating reactions. Teachers and students who are stakeholders observed that the country is not yet ripe for the total computer-based tests. Frank Okonofa has details.
Some teachers in public schools speaking on the issue said most of the students in public schools are not computer literate.
Go to rural areas where the students do not even have seats to sit on. They don't have teachers. No talk of computer science teachers. So how then do you now say that these candidates can face computer using exam?
From now to that 2015, they should provide computers employ more teachers, computer teachers, to teach the students.
Some of the students said the board will not achieve total success as there is shortage of computer teachers.
SS2 and SS3 is just only one teacher. Most of teachers don't come in to use computer to teach, so the process of using computer to write exam will be really difficult, and many students will be able to cope.
The State Commissioner for Secondary, Technical and Tertiary Education, Mr. Washington Usifo, faulted the decision of JAMB to scrap paper pencil tests, saying the board did not have proper projection as 2015 is close, and advised for adequate preparation and enlightenment by the board.
To most of our students across the Federal Republic of Nigeria, it is still a dream and a great joy for them to see a computer, not to talk of touching it. We are not talking about the knowledge now. So the federal government must wake up to really ask themselves the truth, that what must be done only when you are prepared to do it.
From Benin, Frank Okonofwa, NTA News.
That's our contribution from Benin. It's back to you, Sheryl, for the continuation of Nationwide News.
Thank you, Ogochukwu. Preparations are now in top gear at Ikenga Ogidi in Edimili North local government area of Anambra State for the burial of one of Nigeria's literary giants, Professor Chinua Achebe. Chinyere Fesi Okoye completes the report.
Located in a serene environment surrounded by green vegetation, Ogidi, the country home of Professor Chinua Achebe, is totally wearing a new look as the people prepare for the burial of a man described as one of the greatest sons and achievers of the community. A tour around the busy area from Old Enugu Road to Ugunwasike roundabout leading to Ikenga Ogidi, the home of Achebe, is in a total overhaul as all the gutters are being cleared of refuse, potholes filled, and all the access roads to Achebe's compound that have been in bad shape being reconstructed for easy movements. At the Ogidi Town Hall, elders of the community were holding meeting in preparations for the burial. Also being renovated is the St. Philip's Anglican Church, venue of the burial service. Meanwhile, the Anambra State Governor, Mr. Peter Obi, on an inspection visit to Professor Achebe's country home, commended the level of work in Achebe's compound and other places.
I must thank the family and the Ogidi community, whoever is the people, the church, for what they're doing.
Chinua Achebe will be buried on Thursday this week. From Ogidi, Chinyere Fesi Okoye, NTA News.
Meanwhile, encomiums poured in from prominent Nigerians and foreigners at the lying-in state of late Professor Chinua Achebe in Oka, Anambra State. Governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi, and others eulogized the late Chinua Achebe.
He's lived his life. He has shown us the path of good life. Can we then start our own life based on that path?
The lying-in state of the late literary giant was witnessed by family, relations, and well-wishers. Kenyan leaders named in truth reports and Egyptian hostages freed in Sinai. These and more on Global Tidbits with Talatu Ezirike.
In Kenya, the country's President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy are named in connection with post-election violence in a long-awaited report investigating human rights. From Egypt, 7 members of the Egyptian security forces who were kidnapped at the Sinai Peninsula have been freed. The released detainees who arrived at a military base in a Cairo suburb were received by President Mohamed Morsi and government officials.